Peace, greetings, and welcome everyone. This is a morning of the Global Peace series. We're very wonderfully welcoming today Mr. OWEN YEOH, and this blessed morning in Singapore, and of course it's night in Saturday for many people. Welcome, Mr. OWEN. Yes, I think your voice was a little bit not heard. Did you say something?
Hello, I was good morning.
Good morning, good morning. And as everybody knows, the Global Peace series is a weekly series that has evolved from our weekly Sunday sessions that is all about inspiring individuals who watch the program live and recorded, and it goes out there to really get people to stay in their heart, trusting the process, and most importantly, believing the peace within. It's not about looking for it outside. To establish an innately available peace within, and it's in conjunction with our Go Global Business School work of really uplifting humanity consciousness and business consciousness using global peace, being the final result of all the work that we do in global business. So thank you once again, Mr. OWEN, and you have a fabulous. You have a fabulous history, and like what we spoke yesterday, very divinely guided to be on this show. And
yes,
it's lovely. It is just an affirmation, and thank you for that affirmation of like what we want to achieve, and people just show up. And I love it that you showed up this week with us.
Yeah, it was totally unexpected. I was just supposed to get your name onto a WhatsApp chat group, and here we are. So
that's right. And I love it that the kind of work that you do is really wonderful, and it's very important and needed for the hour. That's why in our programs we attract people who are into that balanced space, or rather the bigger space of life. When I say that, and when I introduce you, people will understand, because Mr. OWEN has been in the space of personal growth and development for 10 years, working with the Singapore training government bodies, and he will share more about it later on, where he was in the space of training, coaching, work, and then with his own company, and then moving on for the last 10 years into the meditation space. And I love the profile that you have sent to us, and I'm going to just quickly share with people about it, because you wrote about how, as a practitioner of the active meditations, it's amazing that you have been influenced by the modern mystic of Osho. That's very interesting that we can speak about. And the last, in space of inner and outer meditation processes you've put yourself through. And it's never like, walking the journey yourself before you put it out there for people to benefit as well. So more than 20 years in the field of personal development and skills upgrading, collaborating with government bodies, self-help groups, and that's how we met, and companies. Oh, and also you are not just from Singapore, you're also Malaysia. So it's very interesting that you have this collective context to it. And you run a lot of retreats and meditation programs for the last 7 years. You just came back from one of it this morning, right?
It was a group meditation session, yes, this morning.
Right.
So we finished at about 11 at ECP, and I just rushed all the way back.
Thank you so much. And we know that you incorporate a lot of different modalities, concepts, and techniques from masters, coaches, and trainers from your own experience working with them. So it's a real wonderfully privilege to have you with us. So let's get this going. Tell us a little bit about your take on peace before we jump into the game. Your take on peace.
Okay, I'm honored. You did mention that I've been doing the work with government and corporate for 10 years. I actually have been doing it for 20 years. It's 10 years of that corporate work, and I still do some of that now. And it's the last 10 years that I started looking at what really fulfills a person. The first 10 years was very successful in terms of what we would call in a corporate way. You have the business, you have the profit, the income, you had all the other trappings, but somehow something was still like unfulfilled. And the more I got into this whole practice of self-development and looking at the individual. Of course, as a corporate trainer, we first look at some of the gurus,
Yes.
people like Robert Kiyosaki and Dale Carnegie and Anthony Robbins, and it was still missing. There was like something that just didn't click, and that's how I got into self-development in terms of the emotional aspects, the energetic aspects, and then that led me to meditation, and ultimately led me to a lot of the active meditations from Osho.
Yeah.
And the whole idea of peace is finding that space where it's neither this nor that. Rumi has this beautiful quotation saying that out in the field beyond right and wrong, that's where I'll meet you, and that has held so much importance for me. And recently in all the news, it's about COVID and about vaccination, and I've been having discussions with some friends who are so-called pro-vaccine and some who are anti-vaccine, and these are labels that we put on individuals.
That's right.
What I'm more interested is what is there that we need to know so that we can make informed choices. What do we have to do to get out of this current situation, conspiracy theory or not? We are facing a situation that requires some actions to be taken for us to move from this space. Otherwise, we'll be stuck here forever. And I think that conversation, that neutrality, is what I would term as peace itself.
Wow, that's a beautifully defined conversation we are having here, because at the end of the day, it's that balanced way of being, right? And that's another word for it. We say equanimity, right? To stay at ease and at peace with everything. And then we make whatever choices we need based on whatever informations, or, we say the sanskar, whatever that is meant for us to serve as well. That's fantastic.
Yep.
Yes. So let's start the session, and we have not started it yet. Yes, with the game. We said we will play a game with you, and the game will decide what direction this conversation is gonna go. Are you ready to play?
Sure.
Great. Let's get into the game. So as we spoke about it, the Miracle Game was launched in 2014 in the Singapore National Library, and it is a gamified ebook. Just sharing words, that was channeled to me, and aha moments that was channeled to me.
Nice.
And this is something that we compiled instead of just as a quotation book that many people would, right? So back then, we just decided that, we should make it something different. So we made it into a game book. So I'm going to be clicking a number between 1 to 100. Just before that, just grounding yourself, taking a deep breath and just becoming present, right? I'm sure we all are to this moment, and choosing a number between 1 to 100.
Okay.
So what is your number?
I'll choose 24.
Right. So this it's like a lotto card, 24. Right. So let's go to 24.
It's blue. Nice.
All right. This is one of, wow, interesting. So are you able to read this?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'm just going to push it up a little bit. So, all right. Yes, please, you can proceed to read. This is what we're going to be discussing about. I can tell you this is one of the longest I've written. They're very short writers as well. So go on.
Okay, the card says, massive action to create results is only one part. Oh, that's so true. Making our intention for desired outcome to crystal clear is the beginning. Having faith in the outcome, regardless of how long or challenging it may be, is the next important factor. Staying laser focused and committed, no matter what, is the other key. Letting divine intervention take charge, yet staying detached, is crucial. When the foundation is clear and strong, all other actions, regardless of massive or not, will flow to fruition over time. For the highest good of all, so it is. Right. Yeah, that is definitely resonating.
this is actually the whole process of how somebody wants to manifest anything in their life, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just to, and I always share this with everyone, just to let you know, this sounds as new to me as it is to you, because it is like really channeled through me. So it's like, I don't remember all the 100 of them. So when they show up, and this hasn't come up in the last couple of weeks that we have done. The first time it's showing up. So just sharing about, taking action. And because you're someone being in the corporate world, going into this space, and we spoke about it yesterday also in Singapore and even in Malaysia for that matter, talking about the soul is like a woo-woo thing, all of that. So just share your insights, the importance of balance. Please share with us your insights, the importance of the balance.
Let me take an example that is linked to that card that we just read. When we talk about having goals, in the corporate world, we always talk about setting up SMART goals. We always look at an endpoint. We always break it down. We have little indicators, and that's where we want to go. But in all the programs that talk about setting of goals, setting up a SMART goal, we never ever actually talk about the belief that the goal is going to happen. We never talk about the end that we are expecting to happen. We're just talking about taking the steps, and then 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, participants will turn up and say, how come it doesn't seem to be working? We have some people, some friends that come back 6 months later. It says, yeah, I gave up after about a month or two because I just followed for a bit and then there isn't any result that I saw. I think that's where we are coming from when we take a more holistic approach. It's not setting a goal. It's not something that's just cognitive. You're not just using your mind thinking how you're going to break it down. When we live our life, we don't just sit in a room and think we are living a life. We still experience it physically, emotionally, and in some cases, when you're so moved and the heavens open up and there's angels singing and the birds are flying down to your feet, you have a spiritual or energetic experience. So in this case, setting goals shouldn't be a cognitive experience. It should be balanced with the fact that, do you believe in the goal that you want? Is this something that's truly going to make you happy, or are you just doing a process because we are asked to do a process? And that is one of the things that leave a lot of corporate training programs empty and unfulfilled.
Yeah, I think that is the alignment we're talking about, right? The alignment of your result with what you really want.
Yeah.
And for your thoughts in terms of that, right now in Asia especially, right? So now the third World Spiritual Parliament is going on. World Parliament on Spirituality is going on, AWPS. And that's how we met. So thanks to the platform and the World United for making this happen. And so what I want to really reiterate on this is the level of being Asia. We have a lot of spiritual roots. Think about Thailand. Think about, don't talk about India first, okay? Think about Thailand. Think about Cambodia. Think about, all these different countries. And of course, India and China of its own space where people pay to attend spiritual programs. Like China, I know for a fact, those, what they call it, Ling something, right? What is that word they use? Ling Sing. Is it Ling Sing? The spirituality, how do you call Ling Sing?
Your Mandarin is way ahead of mine, so I can't help you there.
So it's basically the spiritual programs. They pay like $4,000 to attend, and this is the personal experience of my friends who have attended it in China in Chinese, and 8,000 people show up for a $4,000 program. Go calculate the mess, and this is on spirituality. And these mentors and spiritual teachers, and I personally know, and I was part of a program in January this year actually, where Chinese, there is a space in China where they are completely dedicating to spiritual work, and they want to bring in all spiritual teachers from different walks of life to the space to communicate and uplift the people. So it's going massive, yet it's not out there in the corporate world. It's a gap. So that's where I'm getting at with this story. Okay, so what is the gap, and how do you feel we can work on this? And this is the the massive action that we're looking. where things need to evolve.
I think that if we look at the corporate world, it tends to be lagging because we are measuring results with very tangible factors. Yeah, all the business models will tell you that productivity, the number of breakdowns is reduced, the income is increased, the cost is reduced, manpower is at its optimum. You know, we all measure using this kind of measurements. But I also hear from a lot of the world leaders that you know, they're starting to talk about what is beyond the tangible aspect, because you can have I hate to say, I mean, it sounds really terrible to use an example like this, but the founder of what's that shoe, Zappos, this Chinese guy, something Yang or Wang or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's in his 30s. He's super successful in all the markets, but he just dropped and died one day because health-wise,
Yes.
that part of it may not have been as well nurtured as it could be. Maybe it could be emotionally tied. Maybe it could be, you know, any of many factors. But I think the companies are beginning to see that this idea of self-care is becoming more and more important, and very few organizations is beginning to understand that self-care is not just telling your staff to go take a walk in the park, read a book when you feel stressed, or go seek a counselor. It's something that is more intrinsic. You have to actually help the staff itself nurture that. And when you have a fully functioning, fully whole staff, all the other markers will on its own rise anyway. Your MC rates drop, your customer satisfaction rate goes up, your productivity suddenly reaches new highs and all. And I think they're slowly seeing this. But it is a struggle to actually get organizations to go beyond just, you just got to give them 5 minutes a day, and they take their time to read a passage from a motivational book. Yeah, we are slowly but surely moving away from that.
And you know, that's also the reason why we've given a like top-down approach. We're getting grab of the business leaders, the management teams. Rather than saying give your staff, it's like how do you enroll these management team people to be going through that process? You know, it's easy to say because most corporate trainings like go train them. It's not like it's like for things to change, first I must change. For the organization to shift to a new level of distinction, the top-down approach will be, you know, the best way. And of course, this is even we're talking about the country level or you know, at a different stage. And just like in Singapore, I'm sure everybody is watching our Prime Minister getting so much into his heart. I mean, seeing a country leader, brothers and sisters, I'm like, okay, this our country is going somewhere right now, addressing the whole country. And as brothers and sisters, I know it's been a while since we're getting into the heart, and this season, I'm calling it as a season, has opened doors for amazing progress for humanity, and I'm so excited about that. What have you got to say?
Yeah, I think it's as always, crisis is both a challenge and an opportunity, and I can see that the call for the leaders to walk the talk is all the more real today than it was maybe in January this year. Everyone has to actually, you know, stand by what it is that they're preaching, and I'm always focusing back on corporates because I've got deep love for corporates. I think you have the challenge with corporates is that you've got many layers.
Yes.
So the CEO, the C-suites, okay, we walk the talk. We're still gonna let's do it. We're gonna set an example. We're gonna do this. But then once you get one layer down, the pressure is on delivering project A or project B, and they're gonna say, yeah, you can do that because you're up there. You know, I'm facing this, and it takes a concerted overview and a change of mindset all the way down. And if we look at from a country point of view. It's not just the leaders, and then it flows down to the ministers, the grassroots leaders, the citizens. We all have that part to play to try and switch over to a new mindset. Let's not go back to the pre-COVID norm. Let's form that new norm that they're talking about, where we can freely and openly express our heart, express our concerns, and not express that in fear.
Sorry. Yes, for sure. It is really something that you are speaking right on the point of how the people delivering that needs that. I think that is the most pertinent part of the conversation we are having, because that's like grassroots level. We can say it's grassroots, right? So it's like the people out there, and those people need to be empowered. So the gap is actually quite wide if you look at it, like up there. That is the biggest gap. Why? Because then there's so many tangible elements around it that needs to be clarified as well. So great. I think this is that's where today's the topic we said, right? The article you read. It is also something that was written. I'm just reading out again to everybody about the letting divine intervention take charge, because many a time our mind game just acts over us.
Yes.
So letting divine intervention take charge. I mean, I just want to be very honest and practical about this conversation we are having and how you manifested. What time did I think I need to be very vocal about this, because this is what can really demonstrate the trust in divine intervention. So I'm going to just declare it right now, right? I wanted multi-racial phases on the Global Peace series. It's not about just one Tudong lady, sitting down here talking about peace. It's not about that. It's just giving various different perspectives. And people know me as much as I'm Tudong or hijabi or whatever people call. I'm very much into the Tamil traditional work of siddhas and everything. And then, of course, at the World Spiritual Parliament, you hear me say prayer, blessings in Tamil and all of that. And, of course, Chinese speaking. So, for me, it was a multilingual perspective. So, I was thinking, I want to get a Chinese person. I'm like, where am I going to find a Chinese person? I was thinking through very hard of, I do have a lot of network, but it's like, how do I, and I write to you at what time, Owen?
I think that was 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
Yes. And I didn't know you until you messaged me, and it didn't dawn on me. And I was like, and there was a struggle inside me that was saying, should I? It was like, I don't know him. And I was like, just now he wrote to me. And what will he think? It's like, wow, this person don't have anybody to call, just calling me. You get what I mean? I was going through a struggle, and I surrendered to divine intervention. It's like, hey, you wanted a Chinese person to interview. Here, take it. And then here I am judging my own mind, right? With my mind.
Yes.
So divine intervention, and until the last moment, and my partner was asking me, Mr. Ayapadas is also on the call, watching this. He was asking me, Azeeza, who's coming in tomorrow? I said, I don't know. And he was like freaking out. He was like, don't know.
So, in fact, the image that you created, I didn't even see it until this morning when I woke up, because I already retired for the day to prepare for my morning meditation. So when I woke up and I saw that, I was like, okay, this is really happening. So I sent it out a little bit. But like I mentioned to you, my whole purpose was to actually follow up with you to get your name and your permission to add you into a WhatsApp chat group to follow up on the World Parliament on Spirituality. That was how it all started.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy how that exploded into us talking at this point of time. And I just want to take a second also to address this word divine intervention. It's something that comes up in a lot of conversation when we talk about topics like this, like you say, a soul or spirit or anything like that. We get this woo-woo, like airy-fairy, and it's not really substantiated. To me, divine intervention is a very concrete thing, because it is not about something external. It's actually something internal. And the ability to actually tap into that has very much to do with your centeredness, being present, being able to still the conscious mind and allow yourself to tap into the subconscious. And it's within the grasp of every individual person if that's what we want to do. So it is not about an external religion or a building or a practice or something. It's definitely within the grasp of an individual to actually work on the divine. The divine is there for each one of us.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
love it because it's like if Azeeza says it, okay, it's like she's saying it every time. I love it when you are
No,
saying it out.
Aziza, I'm just amazed. And the reason why I even got onto you in that platform was because the other track that I was supposed to follow, they had a break, and I thought I'll just jump into your track. And immediately I was just going, okay, first and foremost, she's Singaporean. I need to get a number. So that was the non-divine, the active mind. And then I started hearing some of the things that you were talking about how education needs to transcend beyond just schools and mathematics and stuff like that. And then as I quiet down, I realized, okay, this is someone who can help me in my own personal growth. And that's listening to what you would call the divine, following the divine intervention. And if you listen to that and practice that enough, you realize everything is within your grasp.
And you know, as we are talking about this is such an important conversation because this is where we say the opportunity. You know, I'm going through one of this master. Um, his name is very long, but I will put it up into the chat box. I was just following
Okay.
his spiritual awakening program online. He's got like 2 million followers. Very interesting young man from from UK. And what's interesting is he spoke about the opportunity portal.
Right.
Opportunity made available to us every day
Hmm.
for whatever that we have already sowed seed for.
Yes.
So if
Yes.
divine intervention for me is also, resonate with you so much, it's not a woo-woo thing. It is just
Yeah.
that already your clarity will help you grasp it without
Hmm.
judgment, without
Hmm.
what you call intervention of the mind to think about the ego game, like what will people think about me? How will it? I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm
Yeah.
really Chinese educated, so I really know holy, you know, very thick skin one. I just want my
Yeah.
results. I don't care how it goes. And our
Hmm.
results are very divinely guided. I mean, like everything is like in that space. So if you are
Hmm.
mission driven, all
Hmm.
these guards drop, right?
Yes. Yes, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, even in a situation like this last year that we have been in, yeah, are you gonna be focused on the fact that you missed the opportunity to travel? You missed the opportunity to actually earn certain income because work has been taken away from you. Are you going to focus on some of the misses, or are you going to look at some of the pluses? That's a training. It's a doable training within every individual person. It's not airy-fairy. It's not the positive thinking movement that everyone is talking about. It's not that. It
Yeah.
takes cultivation. And personally, I go through my ups and downs. I get hit in the face, and when you're sad, so be it. Be sad, experience that, take it up fully, and once that sadness has been processed, you can then move on to the next emerging emotion, and then you pick it up from there and see, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
There's no point suppressing or pushing that away. So I think that's why this idea of learning and cultivating is not just about people sitting in a cave somewhere in the Himalayas and meditating for 6 months.
That's right.
That may have worked in the past, but
Yes.
practical wise in Singapore, we've got to pay bills, we've got to get
Everybody,
jobs
not
done.
only in
We have
Singapore.
to. Yeah. But if we are willing to take, say, just start with 5 minutes a day, it will change you. It will grow on its own. Uh, Maybe when you, and I do this with a lot of friends, maybe just when you are brushing your teeth. Yeah. Every time your mind wanders away from the brushing of teeth, let's just stop for a while, come back to it, focus on the brushing. And that 5 minute practice is already a practice of being present, being aware of your mind coming up with crazy ideas and being distracted. And that is the foundation to building the platform for divine intervention.
Perfectly put. Normally we end the session with a tip from you. You gave the tip without even me asking for that. So we're going to be catching up soon on,
Yes.
how to take this conversation to the next level. It's really wonderful when giving a refreshing perspective and engaging conversation for practical results to show up by, getting into everything is practical, my friends. No more woo-woo stuff. Let's stop that conversation. Everything is designed through the universe. The science is there to prove a lot of things that's happening right now in the world. Thank you so much, Mr. Owen. Give us your final words on how we should,
Well, there are, the beautiful thing is that the world is converging. There's a lot of activities going on. If you're keen, the Asian chapter of the World Parliament on Spirituality is still going on. I think we'll leave the link.
I already put in the post.
Okay, great. So that's one thing. And now the Go Global movement, the Go Global Business School, and I hear from you, it's launching today. So I'm looking forward to being in that. That's another beautiful way of, looking at what is possible beyond just. I'm not going to kill my rice bowl, beyond what is currently available in the training market. If you're a trainer, if you believe that you are pushed to actually look at how you can help a person be truly the person that they can be, in Maslow's hierarchy, the self-actualized person. This is a beautiful portal to get support and to lock in into a very special group of minds. I went into the internet last night. I was looking at some of the background of some of the speakers and some of the people involved with this Go Global Business School. Yes, I'm sold. It's amazing. I just want to be part of that group of people. I think just by being in that presence, I'm just gonna, I don't know, osmosis myself into a better space.
I think it's a time for all of us to grow together and really get the message out loud and clear for the world that this is about coming together as one. And so thank you so much, Owen. And we want to round off the session also by reminding everybody there is a meditation timing given for tomorrow, 21st of December. There's some kind of energy shift happening in the world, and we're going to be all part of it. Most likely we'll have a Facebook Live on that, and maybe we can put together a group of us to really become present to it. It's a 1 hour program, actually 1 hour meditation time. I think it's 5 p.m. IST. And that's about 7:30 Singapore time.
Singapore 7:30, yes. Wherever you are at home, just make some time. If you can, for the whole hour. If you can't, just even take 15 minutes for yourself. The conjunction of the two planets, this Christmas star for the first time in 800 years, 400 years. Yeah, so it's a good time for us. And whenever there is, where your energy goes, where your focus goes, your energy flows, or something like that. That's from Tony. Yeah, so to get everybody together, it's just amazing. And it's not just Singapore, it's everybody at that one moment, global, everyone is sitting down together, sharing that.
Yes. Thank you so much. And so let's make this a beautiful year, ending with great, beautiful souls coming on board Go Global Business School channel for everybody to be inspired, to stay in motion, stay resilient, and most importantly, stay divine. Look forward to seeing everybody soon next week.
Thank you. Pleasure.